What's I am on my likes page as well as my YouTube page. Let me get this out of here. On YouTube as well as my private page. I'm on the likes page, Bishop Amir, and I'm on my YouTube page and my public page. This is Straight Talk with yours truly that we often do. And this is our moment of Black history. And I want you to like and share. So far, we have 40 on and then 8 on the local page. Let's get some people on to have a conversation real quick. You all can share this. Usually, what people do, a lot of people watch what I say, and lots of, in my opinion, obviously it agitates people for whatever reason. My opinion of Trump, my opinion on the church, my opinion, I share my opinions on the page because we do straight talk. And a lot of people get angry and take it personal. That's amazing to me. Black folks are very emotional. Hey, Dr. Ford. So would you all do me a favor? Let's have a real conversation. And could you please share this real quickly? And I'm going to share some truth about some things. I'm going to share the lowdown about some things that I think needs to be revealed. That's often hidden. The Bible said he reveals his secrets to his prophets. And I want to share some things tonight that's going to bless us. So again, I'm not just on my private page, I'm on the public's page. I'm on YouTube. Look at Amir May. Bishop Amir May is the public page. You can comment if we're not friends on the regular page. And the views will come up because usually people watch me, and sometimes people they will privately watch and won't let me know they're on. But I want to say this: we are coming upon an election, and I think you said I was trying to find this video 2 or 3 years ago. I made a video, and two things I did. I made a video about Bishop J. Drew Sheard about 2 years ago, and then I began to ask questions. How could a individual with such high votes not be looked upon for the first and second assistant presiding bishop? And of course, every sitting presiding bishop has the authority and the constitutional right to pick their first and second presiding bishop. And then I began to ask myself, how is it that a man of this stature and caliber doesn't, from what I see, did not have a lot of assignments that should have been, I would say this, more opportunities should have been given him, but maybe God was just putting him on the back of the mountain to prepare him for this day. I want to know, and I want to say this, that a lot of what we see today of candidates running after our election is awesome. Bishop Lake, the GOAT, we pay good reverence to him. He retired, officially be over next Tuesday. I really commend him. And I began to say the handwriting was on the wall, who I thought God's hand and presence was on to take the church even further. I began to speak, and I said that I think it was a couple of summers ago. I began to say that I was really going forth. I didn't even ask to approve of Bishop Sheard. I didn't ask to approve of anybody. I was just sharing my heart. And it got up to about 50,000 views, et cetera, et cetera. But I need you all to share this. And again, the numbers are climbing because we have those on YouTube and then we have those on Facebook public page. And people say, well, ain't nobody listen. Trust me, they're going to listen. And people have to listen to what I say because I agitate them or they just love my content, but they listen. So I began to talk about how we need to honor our fathers. And many of our fathers are in transitioning. And now we have many people around the same age, between 45 and 60, in their mid 60s, running and governing the church. So it's more like a comrade of brotherhood versus fathers and sons. And so the question is, where do we go from here? I would like to say that I think everybody that I've heard that's deemed running for the presiding bishop are also and great candidates. I think Bishop Daniels, class act. I think Bishop Macklin, class act. I think my two brothers, who I love dearly, and it will put us a little between the betwixt, me and the betwixt, because I love them dearly, and both would think they're equally qualified to run. They're uniquely different, but yet they have the fortitude to take the church to another level, and that's Bishop Brandon Porter and Bishop J. Drew Sheard. Before I was even knowing that Bishop Porter was ever going to run, I stated my support with Bishop Sheard, and I stated why I was saying what I was saying. But I'm going to be doing a lot of content this week because there's some things that I think that's very important. One of the things that I think is important is the fact that the church has taken a hit as it relates to um, a more ethical, and I think um, our next leadership should be individual, not only focus on the total aspect of the church, but there's some key areas that I think the leaders must focus on, whoever leads the church next, that should focus on. This is from a spiritual concept. I think we need to be interactive with social justice. I think that we need to be a voice, and there needs to be parameters. And I shared this personally with my brothers, Shared and Porter, that the local pastor has to be strengthened, and we must surround the local pastor and strengthen him because he no longer can be the mule for the district and the jurisdiction and the national church. Um, I think that we need to make sure that the local pastors are strong. I came here, and this is no throw off, but I came to Charlotte, North Carolina, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, birthed my own church, and birthed it in Kalamazoo, did very well, and came here, and there was no extension fund for the Church of God in Christ where we could go to a accredited, like a loan institution or extension fund or banking system where we can draw monies to purchase our church, purchase land, to do all that, et cetera, et cetera. Those are kind of things that must be offered to qualified, bona fide pastors if we're going to compete with other reformations and denominations in 2021. This is 2021. The day is out for an organization not to be able to support and fund its local pastors. Okay? The day is out. We're in the day of brothers. We're in the day of not the book of Judges where every man is under his own tree, but we're in a day where brothers are operate a little differently than a father. All right? We have big brothers now, and we have little big brothers, but we're brothers. And so brothers have a tendency to be more honest, more brutal, more forward with each other versus than with a father. And so brothers tend to think as if it doesn't benefit me, why even get involved? If it doesn't involve me, if it can't help my church, if it can't help embellish what I'm trying to do, why even get involved? And so it has to be more representation, not taxation without representation. It must be a restructuring of, I would call financial institution of the church where local churches can come to our church and be able to be funded, not just by their local jurisdiction commission, but there needs to be extension fund committee where we have verified funds, just like other Caucasian organizations have, and just like other Southern Baptists have down here, in the Bible Belt. There's a lot of things that's been done, and we need to be in a position to be able to do that. So I think what the next presiding bishop is need to really. I'm not worried about Memphis. I'm not worried about St. Louis. I'm not worried about where we have church. We know how to have church. I'm worried and concerned about who's going to take us to another level with finances, with our credit, with ability to fund and operate and help the local pastor obtain the building he's trying to do, the daycare, the high school, et cetera, et cetera. All right. Um, God makes land, and we as a people need to buy all the land that we can. So I think that that's an issue. Number two, the reason I think all of the candidates are marvelous people, and I think we should not run a smear campaign. I think I give them credit that all of them have ran an awesome campaign. I do want to say this, that um, there's a lot of challenges that we are facing in today's society that I really think needs to be addressed, that cannot be spiritualized nor swept under the rug. Okay. The reason I like this subject shared, and this is for those that listen to my prophetic voice, and the guy is a great guy, good guy. He's a family man, and I just want to share my experiences with him one on one. Um, he's an awesome man of God. He's always reverenced. This what really made me begin to really love him for years now. He always reverenced my mother and my grandfather. My grandfather was one of the popular bishops of the Church of God in Christ from Michigan, Bishop Fred Cunningham, and Bishop Sheard always put his hand, um, you know, offered a hand, an extension of a hand to my grandfather. So I think this, that if a individual or a pastor, if a leader or credential holder cannot voice who they feel that they want to vote for without the spirit of witchcraft or control, without demonizing one another. If I say I voted Shear, that should not hinder my relationship with Macklin. If I voted for Macklin, that should not hinder my relationship with Porter. We are supposed to be saints, okay? And we're supposed to be individuals that follow peace with all men, if it's possible. Follow peace with all men, holiness without no man should see the Lord. So this should be a peaceful process. But I don't think we need to be, and the Bible talks about it, we need to act like men. We don't need to be whispering as pastors. We don't need to be saying things behind each other back. We need to be men. I'm telling you that I believe Bishop J. Shea will be a wonderful presiding bishop, a family man, and we need to go back to focusing on family because we have a lot of great preachers and they're just sorry men in the home. All right. Great preachers, but don't know how to be husbands. Great preachers, but don't know how to protect and provide for their wife. Great preachers, but don't pay child support. Great preachers. I'm not just talking about the church of Christ, all around. So we need that family example, just like Bishop Blake was. He was a wonderful family man, and for me, that's the kind of thing that I love. All right, that he is a family man. Bishop Porter, family man. All right. All right, I'm back. We got a bad storm here. Storming, y'all. It's snowing and storming everywhere. What about you all? Is it storming here? All right, I got a lot of numbers on YouTube and my public. Okay. So yeah, I just think that we really need to reevaluate what we're doing, and that's what I want to say. I pray Bishop Porter, Bishop Jared, much success. Value their ministry, Bishop Mack, whoever it is, whoever wins next Tuesday, God bless them, and we look forward to work with them. All right, I gotta get off this line because it's buffering, but I got one more line to about love and relationship. All right.